Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm in Science Centre today. I got 5 shows. I've just finished my second show. Got a few minutes before the punters get in for the next show. So I thought I'll do a little video for you about Yamin Lamal and whether he would be a success at City. The answer is no. I don't think he would be. I'll caveat that. If he was to join City now, I think he'd be a success. If he'd come through this system, which is kind of what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, if he'd come through the system, no, I think he would struggle, and I'm not sure he would have been a success at City. He would have to leave to be a success. Okay? It's like players who play for Spurs. They have to leave Spurs before they can win a trophy. And there's been plenty of examples recently. Obviously, the biggest one is Cole Palmer. He had to leave City to be a success. We thought 45 million, that's quite nice money. He's worth 80 to 100 million if you want to buy him now. Look at the other players that we've had that have had to leave to be a success. Liam Delap. This talk of, his buyout clause is 30 to 40 million quid. And that's just because it's in his contract, apparently, because Ipswich are being relegated. But scoring 12 goals in a poor Ipswich team shows he's got some stuff about him. But he had to leave City to make it. Look at other players. Jeremy Frimpong. Do you remember him? He was at City. Romeo Lavia, okay, you could say he's not really made it at Chelsea, but he's still talked about highly and for good money. There's a few others in recent times as well. You could even say Brahim Diaz, but he wanted to go to Madrid because that's his team. Even Olise, he was at Crystal Palace and went to Bayern Munich and he's ripping it up there. He was for one season in our academy. The problem with our academy is Pep. Eventually it's Pep. It all boils down to him, because you're coming through, you're not allowed to make too many mistakes. You saw the kid, the left back, I forgot his name now. I can picture him in my mind at City. I'll remember by the end of the video. He made a couple of mistakes. Pep yanked him. Yeah, what was he, 17, 18 year old, whatever he is. Pep yanked him. And then as he was preparing the substitute, he made another mistake. You can't afford to make mistakes in a Pep team. And Pep coaches the impetuousness or the that buzz that kids have. Cole Palmer, I remember he scored a great goal in the Community Shield. He scored a goal, the winner in the Super Cup, but Pep wasn't playing him. He made mistakes. Cole Palmer takes risks, and you can't take too many risks that don't pay off. Look at Jack Grealish. Look at what's happened to Jack Grealish. When he came from Villa, he was this guy who did all sorts. Even Mahrez was the same. They were given a license to attack, to take people on, to dribble. At City, that license is taken away. You can do it a little bit, but not as much as you'd like, not as much as the fans would like. And Jack Grealish is not even half the player, and he'll leave this summer, I expect. Yamin Lamal, I think, would have had the same problem. Coming through the system, you're a kid, you can't make mistakes. You could argue, people will argue with me possibly, that Pep had Messi and Messi came through, but Messi was generational. But I think now in this City system, Pep's gone, I think, over. He's gone too far in this mechanical, robotic, AI kind of mode where you've got to be, you don't go forward, you pass it back. All those times we're breaking. And I remember when we had Leroy Sané and Sterling, they'd take people on and we'd stretch teams on the counter-attack. Half the time now, we just pass it back. We just keep control and let teams get back. Yamin Lamal would have had that problem at City. Absolutely 100% believe he would have struggled to break through. He'd have been given chances. And unless you take them and you look stunning, you're going to struggle. When I say I don't think he would have broken through, 98% chance he wouldn't. There's a 2% chance that you do, play a game and you're just stunning. You are just so good that you can't be ignored. And maybe he's at that level that you cannot ignore him, because I think most people say he's better than Cole Palmer. So maybe he is at that level that you just can't ignore his talent and what he can do. But generally speaking, as a kid coming through, City's a good training ground. I think it's a good place to go through the academy, and that's why so many United players sent their kids to City and then moved them on later on. But it's a great place to learn you're learning under some of the best coaches out there. Obviously, you might not be learning under Pep, but if you're good enough, you will be learning under Pep, because some of the youth, their academy do get brought into the first team training. But you're playing around some top players, the environment, everything is just so good about the City Academy that you do get that opportunity to develop to a good standard. But the problem is, yes, you've got all these top players ahead of you. That's one of the problems. Maybe Barcelona were lucky as well, because of their financial problems, they've had to use more of their own youth to get through. But I just don't see it. I see McAtee not getting a lot of game time. I don't think he's good enough. He's certainly not, for me, as good as Cole Palmer. I don't think he's going to get through. Look what's happened to Rico Lewis. He almost, fell off a tree or fell off a cliff, because, you'd have thought he'd have played a lot more this season than he did last season. Just not getting that game time. As I said, if you're already a good player at 2021, look at Savinho. He got a lot of game time because he'd shown what he could do elsewhere, and that's what allowed him to have so much game time at a young age. If Yamin Lamal was to come to City now, we'd certainly give him that license to thrill, license to take people on, license to lose the ball, because that's what it is. Every time you dribble, you're not going to, get past people, and that's the negativity that I don't like about our style of football now. It's, as I said, I think it's gone just too far in the wrong direction. You're going so far, and it's good up to a point, and then it's just too much. It is boring. A lot of it is boring, and call me moany or whatever, but it is boring football, and it has been for a couple of seasons now. Yes, you win stuff and you take it because you're winning, but when you're not winning, you want to be moany about it and say it's boring. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments section below. Do you think Yamin Lamal would have made it at City's academy? Is he that good that he would have got through, where someone like Cole Palmer couldn't get through? Or do you think he wouldn't have made it? Would Pep have trained the skill and all that stuff out of him? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.